Welcome to the premiere edition of the Catalyst podcast. My name is Jason. You can find us at facebook.com/catalyst motivation, youtube.com/at catalyst motivation 561, and instagram.com/catalyst motivation 561. A catalyst has the power to create change. And we hope that that's what this podcast will do for us, for you, for me, for all of us. Right? We're going to talk about the catalyst, the turning point, the journey, the lesson, and beyond. So I'm proud to say, welcome to episode 1. Again, my name is Jason. This podcast has been a process, almost 7 years in the making. Uh, the last 3 years, there's actually been some traction. And now here we are, recording and getting ready to put this out to you. All right. So again, welcome to episode 1. In the next few episodes, what we're going to talk about is the journey, my journey. Um, and there's a good reason to talk about that. But why we're doing the podcast, basically because of the journey. But why did it take so long? And we'll definitely talk about that. We'll talk about some uh, fear, um, abandonment, things like that. We're going to get raw. We're going to get deep. It's going to be unedited. It's not going to be perfect. It's going to be a stream of consciousness. But hopefully, I can come across in a way that I can communicate to everyone in a language that everybody can easily understand. I don't know if anybody knows what that reference is from, but it's going to be interesting. I'm going to tell my story, and then we're going to want you to tell your story. So we're going to be looking for you um, to come on board. You can reach out to us like on Facebook, on YouTube, as well as Instagram. If you'd like to share, we'll go and do that. These first few are going to be a little selfish, a little bit about me, but we're going to get to you, and we're going to bring up different topics that we'll talk about. And share and learn and grow together. Um, it's it's quite a challenge for me to talk, but um, it was a great motivator. A couple days ago, my mom passed. She was 83 years old, and went into the hospital with a little bit of breathing issue. And by the end of the week, things took a turn for the worse, and we lost her on July 29th at 10:41 p.m. One of the most amazing, incredible things about that, and maybe that's not the right words to say, but I was fortunate enough to get there and spend some time with her. I'm in Jupiter, Florida, and she's in Pennsylvania. And when she did expire, you could physically see her essence leaving her body. She completely changed, like physically changed. I saw the change in her face as her essence expired from her. And the most amazing thing about it is that, and I've read this in a book somewhere. They'll measure a body's weight before and after someone expires, and there's no change in it because your essence is something that can't be measured, but you can physically see it. Um, like when we're in pain and suffering, we can physically see our spirit in pain. And and when we pass, we see the beauty of that essence, you know, leaving. And it's still raw. I still haven't kind of. I don't think I've. I don't think I've come to grips with it because it happened so quickly, and it's still raw and new. Um, but we'll definitely talk about my mother, and her impact on me, her impact on all the people whose lives she touched, as well as my grandmother, another great inspiration. Two amazingly powerful women who helped to shape my wife. My wife. No, they didn't shape my wife. In fact, they really didn't like my wife. My ex-wife. Uh, and you know, they helped to shape my life, and we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the men in my life or the lack thereof, and what it's like for that. But the main thrust of even having this podcast was to tell the story um, of my journey over the last 4 years. And there were a bunch of things that happened. And anytime I tell the story, people say, you should write a book. You should do something with this. And I said, well, I've been thinking about a codcast, a podcast, doing a podcast for some time now. And it wasn't until 2020 we really started to kind of put some things into place. But it wasn't really until this year, March of this year, um, April, February, March. I started putting together some reels. Then I created the Catalyst web page for Facebook, then YouTube, and now Instagram. We started out with just reels and a couple of blogs, and now we've got the question of the day, quotes. We're going to have a whole every Wednesday. We're going to put out um, recipes, and I'm working something out with a friend of mine. Uh, she's a chef, and she's going to put some recipes together as well. And this podcast, which was the main thrust of all of this, um, to be able to not only tell this story as a therapeutic way to kind of get over some of the things that I've been holding on to, but it's also a chance to give you the opportunity to tell your story. What was the catalyst in your life? What was that? What was that thing that created that change? We'll talk about different subjects and topics. Right now, it's going to be free form stream of consciousness. We'll put a little structure together. Hopefully, you'll like this. If you don't, it's okay. If not, and if you do like it, let us know. Give us some feedback. We're going to definitely be looking forward to hearing from you and what you have to say about this. This is a podcast in a forum to share. It's a podcast to be the light in the darkness. It's a podcast to help inspire and motivate. It's a podcast to help the dreamers dream big. And it'll get ugly. It'll get brutally honest. Sometimes I might not even want to hear or say some things, but we're going to do it. And hopefully that will inspire you. Um, and together we can grow, develop, and be better than we are. Like I said, be a light in the darkness. All right. So I just want to say thank you. Be patient with me. It's going to be quite interesting, but I think as time goes on and we create these podcasts, we grow together. Me, you, the podcast. We share and develop and grow and evolve this into something that's going to be very, very special. And I look forward to that. I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to hearing your feedback. And I look forward to telling the story that I've been telling personally, but not publicly in a forum like this. And it's funny because I was in radio for 10 years. I can go into a radio studio right now and just, you know, no big deal. But to do something this personal and raw, um, there were challenges, there were fears, and today's the day we overcome those fears. And hopefully, if somebody's listening to this, they decide today's going to be the day for them to overcome their fears. And that's what it's all about. That's what we're looking forward to doing. That's what I'm looking forward to doing. I want to be able to help. I want to be able to serve. I want to be a I want to be a foot washer. I want to be a foot washer. Oh, don't want to make this too long. Just want to keep it, brief to the point, kind of introduce ourselves. And we look forward to telling you the story um, as we go into the next couple of episodes. Uh, it's gonna get heavy, and it's gonna be something that's hopefully gonna benefit not just me, but anybody who listens. And I look forward to sharing with you. So, with that being said, we're gonna make this quick, sweet, to the point. Thank you for listening to episode 1 of the Catalyst Podcast. Again, you find us at Facebook at facebook.com/Catalyst Motivation, youtube.com/ at Catalyst Motivation 561, and Instagram at instagram.com/ Catalyst Motivation 561. This is Jason. Go be great. Thanks for listening.